Okay, today I'm going to show you how students would add numbers together using partial sums. A partial sum means breaking the number into its place value parts. So, for example, 248 here would become 200 plus 40 plus 8. 125 would become 100 plus 20 plus 5. And then we're going to go ahead and add those numbers together. Now, partial sums are sometimes in schools, you'll hear teachers also use the words expanded form. Expanded form also means breaking or decomposing that number 248 into 200 plus 40 plus 8. All right, so let's get to the math here. So what we're going to be doing is we're not going to be, again, doing any borrowing or carrying here at this point. Um, again, students aren't using the standard algorithm. They're using in this problem, they're using place value as a way to solve the problem and think about numbers. So we're not going to be, when we add the 8 and the 5, we're not going to be bringing the 10 and regrouping the 10 into the tens place. And I'm going to show you how this works. So we're going to do 8 and 5. 8 plus 5 makes 13. We're just going to keep that 13 in the ones place. Remember, that 13, when we think about it mathematically, that is 10. It's a group of 10 or one group of 10 and then 3 ones, right? So we would represent that in pictures as like a 10 stick and then 3 ones, right? So that would be 10, 11, 12, 13. So we know that there's a 10 and a 3 in that number. We're just going to keep it there. We're not going to bring it over to the tens place. Okay, now what we're going to do next is add the 40 and the 20. 40 and 20 makes 60. And then we're going to add the 200 and the 100, and that makes 300. So now we have 300 plus 60 plus 13. So we don't want kids to get into students to get into the idea of just listing this out. A misconception here would be that they would put a 3 for the 300, a 6 for the tens, and then the 13 ones. And then that would end up being 3,613. So we want to remind our students that even though this is in the ones place, it still has a 10 in the value of this number. So one of the ways to avoid doing students making that mistake is, again, now once we have the 300 and the 60 and the 13, we're going to line them up underneath each other, and which looks more like the standard way that the standard algorithm for math. So we're going to put 300 here, and again, we want to pay attention to the value of these numbers. This is 60. That's 6 tens and 0 ones. So 6 tens, 0 ones. And then this 13, again, remember, this has a value of 10 here. So that goes into the tens place with 3 ones. And now we can just add these up. And there's going to be no regrouping here or ungrouping. We're just going to just add up the numbers quickly, right? 0 plus 0 is 3. 0 plus 6 plus 1 is 7. And 300 plus 0 and 0 becomes 373. So B up here in our equation for 248 plus 125 equals 373. And that's how students in third grade would use partial sums, or breaking the numbers into their place value parts, or again, we also call it expanded form. That's how they would use partial sums to solve an addition problem.